Hi, everyone. Two girls, one ticket. Brogan and Lauren here.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It has not even been a week, and what is going on?
I mean, sports galore.
I felt like we needed an emergency podcast after the weekend, not to mention Monday night. And then MLK Day threw me off like nothing else. Did it throw you off?
I was probably the most hungover I've been all this entire year, which probably isn't saying much as we're 2 weeks in, but yes, it did.
You're training for a marathon. It's called balance. You put in the miles, the
So I
drinks
said
hit
I
you a little
ran 6
quicker.
miles before. Yeah, so we're good. It was not a fun day for me.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those days where I feel like it's obviously a holiday, but some people have off, some people don't. Schools are out. I was working a lot and I was just running around every time it just would forget and then it would hit me again. It's a holiday.
I logged on to my computer on Monday morning realizing that I had the day off. So that's how much I didn't even know.
There you go. Oh my. Well, Seahawks, absolute domination.
Yes.
Broncos over my Buffalo Bills.
Controversial game.
Controversial Bo Nix with his broken ankle. Just terrible. Swag was out in Miami. Loved seeing everyone that was down there out and about for the national championship. So much on the line. Indiana crushed, as we suspected. Not
Who
hoped, but
who
suspected.
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. But we're still all about the U. Miami had its chances. We're going to get into way more of all of this, catch up some on Australian Open. Alix Earle and Jordan Woods. Let's start there. It's been a
Quite the
hot minute
dynamic duo.
since we've been able to talk about Jordan. So let's bring her back for a minute. I saw a clip of Alix Earle getting ready for the national championship. I had no idea that she had gone to Miami, graduated just a few years ago with a marketing degree. So good for her. At least she's a real hurricane. But I saw her getting ready for the game, and my first thought was, okay, she has to be going with Tom Brady. Why else is she going to this game? Which again now makes a little more sense that
She went to
she's
Miami.
exactly. Then the next thing I see is a post from none other than Jordan Woods with a
Oof.
picture of her and Alix Earle sitting together with the caption, "Friends from an alternate timeline."
What is Alex doing? I'm sorry.
I mean, clearly referencing themselves as friends, like back to the Belichick Brady era of the Patriots, where they probably weren't even like in high school at that
No.
point.
No, they're like
So
25,
definitely
so
from an alternate timeline, but I will never understand any of that. But so
a
then,
double date.
double date, Belichick and Brady. Wow. Mark Davis, Raiders owner and their GM, was there on the sidelines, most likely going to take Mendoza as the first pick. So I'm sure Brady was all involved in that. But I couldn't, that was not on my bingo card to see them sitting together. And I don't think it was a great look for Alex. Not that I think very highly
No.
of her, but uh,
Dude, that had to be rage bait. Like, what the hell was that? I thought that was AI putting them together.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, this cannot be real of all the ways to start this off. And it's the national championship. And there they are. But no, it was real. And now it came out that Alix Earle has a reality show coming out.
Oh, I
Yes,
feel like I've heard that one long time coming.
based on her, her family, and I guess her friends. Not going to be watching that, but I guess everyone might as well give it a try.
To be fair, do you hate Alex Earl or what's
I
your
don't, and
vibe?
I really don't know anything
You
about her
don't know
other
her?
than I just think that she's overhyped for what I've seen of her.
I think she, first off, has horrible style. I don't know if you watched the video of her getting dressed for the U Miami game, or I was like, girl, those jeans are a little dirty, and you should have gone with the boots instead of the heels. But anyway, so her style, I feel like she could do a little bit better. But I think other than that, she's a very relatable, down to earth. Went to Miami. She
Yeah,
seems
no.
like a relatable girl. So anyway, that's my opinion on her. I like her
Well,
kind
Brady seems
of.
to like it, so just can't be
She's a
that bad.
blonde.
Speaking of getting ready for games, I love how Miami gets pumped up before their game with their little cafecitos, which is Cuban coffee. And they all sit around their little huddle and they drink their little cafecitos. And I have to say, I love Cuban coffee. My little cortadito, Cafe Versailles and Little Havana is my go to. And I know it's gotten more popular over the years, but It's just the OG, and it's like a little community thing. Everyone just goes there. All the Cubans go and take their coffee and talk, and their empanadas are
Oh,
amazing. But I know you're not the biggest Miami fan, but if you ever find yourself like, no matter what part I'm going to, or if I fly into Miami, I will literally detour to Little Havana for my Cuban coffee. But
I should have took note of that. I literally got a empanada in the airport. I love empanadas, and I forgot. By the time I was leaving, I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to get an empanada." But,
they're so
yeah,
good.
I need to have the Cuban coffee. I would like a little alcohol in mine, little cornajit what's the cornajitas that everybody drinks? I don't know.
Cartajillo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those. I need
those
to
are good. Those are good. You can
that'll get
find
me
you
fired up.
probably yeah, Mexico City has some delicious ones, and they put in, like, the fresh cream, like, almost like a little bit of a, whipped cream on top. Delicious.
That sounds fabulous.
Yes. Okay, now on to the game. Started out so boring in my opinion. First half, not much going on. Second half, stepped it up. Miami had their chance, and they
They
missed
absolutely
it.
did. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
I mean,
They
they totally didn't take it. That blocked punt for a touchdown by Indiana was basically a giveaway. And then that easy missed field goal really didn't help from Miami. But Carson Beck's interception stole the show. And interestingly enough, I actually didn't know this, but Carson Beck only lost 6 games in his college career, and 4 of them the final offensive play was a Beck interception with a chance to win the game. What are the chances of that? So that shouldn't come as a big surprise that that's how he went out for his national championship run.
that block punt definitely changed the entire and the entirety of the game. I'm very happy about Indiana winning. I think the overarching story of this, college football national championship is the SEC does not dominate college football anymore.
And I love
Um,
that takeaway.
it's freaking badass. We've got these Midwesterner Big Ten schools. They've got the biggest donors. We've got Oregon, Phil Knight, Indiana now is Cuban, USC, obviously wealthy, Michigan, Allison. So Big Ten definitely has some money now, which I'm super excited about. I know SEC hasn't been in the national championship for literally, I think, the past like 3 years or something. So it's an exciting kind of change in the football industry for sure.
I agree. And Adidas's first team to win a national championship. Good for them.
I mean, Adidas could never get the good schools, but now there's money. So here we are.
There's money. There were so many people there. Trump, Ivanka. Speaking of outfit choices, I love her, Ivanka. I think she dresses
Oh,
so well. I think she's so
she's my
elegant.
idol.
I agree, but it was a kind of a miss. She was like in a heavy black dress and her black sunglasses. I'm like, come on, it's a football game. Lighten it up. And we're in Miami.
She did look like she was going to a funeral.
Yes, completely. Kai, obviously cute as ever. Then we had DJ Khaled, Fat Joe, all the usual Miami suspects. I thought one of the funniest was Little Uzi Vert, who I have to say I don't know
Little
of.
Uzi. I don't know who
Yeah,
that is
Lil
either.
Uzi. Mendoza previously had given a shout out to him saying, "If you can attend, I will find you a ticket. The game's in Miami. I don't have tickets to give, but I will find you one if you can come." And then there he was on the sidelines, repping the Indiana jersey, all his chains. He has millions of followers on Instagram, and the one person he follows is Mendoza.
Wow, that's quite the
It
relationship. Isn't he
really
like a
is.
SoundCloud rapper? I don't know any he's got, like, one song, it's, like, Money Longer. I'm probably saying it incorrectly, but I have no clue who he is, but I love
I
the
just
friendship
love to
between
see
them.
that he showed up. I mean, all kinds of comments about everything about this game. The ESPN halftime report, the flower arrangements. I am probably the only person or one of few that took such offense by these, but it literally looked like someone went out to Publix before the game and was like, make me a Hawaiian tropical arrangement, the ugliest flowers you can find that are probably not even in season right now. Make it look like Hawaii, but we're in Florida. I mean, so like
Ooh,
birds of paradise, tropical
cheesy.
color, like so cheesy. Like literally, like you'd see it on a nightmare like cruise buffet or something. Like I've it was bad enough seeing the big Hard Rock title in the background as a brand. I get we can't do anything about that, but it's a national championship. You'd think they could have just done some nice roses or something, maybe elevated a little bit more
It ain't
classy,
the
but
Rose Bowl. No.
no, it's not. But
Well,
anyways,
remind me not to hire them for my wedding arrangements.
exactly. What was Mark Cuban wearing? This guy, Indiana's proudest alumni, and it looked like a vintage, almost
Newest
pink
Prados alumni.
Indiana, yes, pink, like almost vintage looking t-shirt. Did you see that?
He's a new bandwagon fan. Again, he went to the school, which is great, but I think now we all know he's a fan. He probably pulled that shirt out from way back in the day. It's a little faded. It was like pink. Yeah, I
It
definitely
literally looked pink. Like, where are your true colors? And maybe he was going vintage, but I feel like he's another guy that who usually dresses pretty well. He's usually in
Yeah,
his black or,
suit
nice sneakers and just kind of knows what just he does pretty well. But that t-shirt, again, for your spotlight moment at the national championship,
just wasn't it.
not it. Fans roasting Carson Beck after he left the field, didn't even take his helmet off, went straight to the locker room, didn't shake Mendoza's hand. That's a classless move.
I didn't really have an opinion, good or bad about Beck, but I think just the way he carried himself. And also, did you that reporter that dumbass reporter asked him, about school and everything, and he was like, "Well, I haven't taken a class in 2 years," or I don't and I know we'll get into that later, but I thought just the way his mannerisms and everything, I just didn't care for too much.
He's not it. I just don't like him all around. You always respect the talent, but I didn't think that was a good move. I haven't really heard a great interview from him. Just seems kind of dull,
Yeah,
in my
and I
opinion.
feel like how you carry yourself one of the biggest lessons playing sport that coaches try to instill in you is it's not only how you play on the court, but off the court is what coaches are looking for, what people are looking for, like how you handle different situations and your mental game, like that completes an all-around good player.
Totally, and your
Uh,
character and your manners and, yeah, how you present yourself. It makes you an all-around, allegedly student athlete, but for someone who hasn't taken
2
classes in 2
years.
years,
He got
that
himself
title
out.
does not. I loved seeing how happy Mendoza's mom and dad was, and the fact that he sits to celebrate with her while she's in a wheelchair rather than standing up since she can is just so, so
That
nice.
that is cute, but I did see a lot of headlines, and they were just saying that he was sitting the entire time. I saw that guy up a lot too, so I'm like, he's got the energy, but he also is relating
No,
it
I
back
don't
down
think
to her,
yeah,
like, they're a cute
totally.
little
Yeah, I don't think
dynamic
it's like he
duo.
does. I had seen before the game and all these I kept getting, like, Instagram, whatever, sponsored things. That 11 was the official after party sponsor, and I'm like, "Okay, this is probably just their own
Yeah,
label, their own spin." Random clubs in random cities or random bars or restaurants always say the official whatever when it's not. And sure
turns out it
enough,
was.
there was Mendoza and Indiana partying at 11. Just so funny to see him there. I mean, it's essentially a strip club. I mean, not, but is. And I mean, it's more of just a club, but it is definitely labeled a strip club. And Adam and I were there together once upon a time.
He did mention that you guys were balling out. Maybe were you throwing some ones around or what?
It was so, yeah, I had our stock of ones. It was fun. Yeah, it was a fun group. We were down there for Alexis's wedding. And yeah, we made it over there. It was a fun little expedition.
Yeah, I haven't been to 11, but when I was just in Miami, not last week and the weekend before, my friends were trying to get me to go to space. It's like, you could not catch me dead at space at
No.
8 AM.
No, cannot say I've stepped
No, I
foot
don't
in
know what's
space.
worse.
That I can say. Yeah. Um, so Mendoza updated his LinkedIn, of course,
Cutie!
naturally.
I did see that. Did you see in his, like, awards section? It's 91st Heisman Trophy winner. It was the cutest thing ever.
So great. I can't wait to see how he kind of evolves. I'm sure his you get character and demeanor will stay the same, but going to the NFL platform just to see if he maintains his LinkedIn and all of his
You
little
never know.
quirky sides
Yeah.
too. You never know,
He
yeah.
is
Seeing him at 11 just made me laugh, and then I was wondering, does he drink? I don't really know if he does.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. His coach does, but
We know his coach does, and now he gets free beer for life. Did you
at the local watering hole, I saw that. Uh,
Y
he has a Chipotle bowl now given to him that's called I Win Bowl or something along those lines.
No, that is hilarious. I did not see
He's just
that,
a
but I
Chipotle
did
eating,
see
beer drinking type of guy.
exactly. I loved this interview where it came from a while ago where it was like, "I it's simple. I win. Google me." And then now it's came back, like, you Google him and it's like, he wins.
Simple guy. God damn, I love it.
Very simple, just wants his beer. Does it in every single interview, continued to say it, and then their local, I guess, Bloomington brewery announced a lifetime of beer for winning the national championship after he said he drank a Hoosier beer from Upland Brewing, so somebody got the monopoly on that one.
Supporting local businesses.
He got his beer after all. Saw the funniest clip of that Caitlin Clark was actually responsible for Miami being in the finals and Carson Beck being at Miami. So I had to kind of look into it a little bit more. But the catalyst being that in 2024, Caitlin Clark dropped 41 points against Haley Van Lith, who was playing at LSU at the time. And then she was so mad about that that she transferred to TCU, where the Cavender twins had landed after being at Miami. And then Hannah Cavender, who Beck was dating, went back to Miami, which probably helped influence his decision to go down there from Georgia. So there you go, Caitlin.
She's a
Another
leader.
thing you
She's a
did.
leader. No, I love that Haley Van Leaf girl too. She's got cute little. If you've ever seen her play, she's got her cute little braids in, and she's a damn good player. I think she's definitely better than the Cavender twins. But
She's
yeah,
good.
she's scrappy. Miami in general just has like an influencer culture that kind of gravitates towards it. So I think that's another factor as well.
I think that, well, the Cavender twins were so marketable. While they were at Miami, I loved that they were playing together. They just seemed like the nicest girls. Signed one of the biggest first known, women's NIL deals, for a good amount, just kept blowing up. Obviously, then they transferred. That was a big thing. And I kind of followed them for a little bit. And now I think they have gone so
They
downhill.
went down the influencer, reality star type vibe.
And they got their implants and they were so open about that whole journey and they look terrible. And I'm not against plastic surgery or keeping up with yourself, but that to me was a botched
They're so
job.
ripped, so, they're so just fit and those boobs just look so fake.
Like,
Yeah,
stuck on, yeah.
exactly.
So, maybe Carson Beck did something right by moving on to the Latinas, I don't know. Alberto, Fernando's
Aw.
brother, entered the transfer portal the day after. I mean, who that's kind of funny, winning the national championship and then entering the portal, and I guess he landed at Georgia Tech, so good for
I
him,
mean, they won the Natty
but
together,
I guess it
so it
was
was time.
right, and they had, another quarterback coming in, and I'm sure he wants more playing time, so probably for the
Is he
best.
good? Are you even aware of his talents? I don't even know.
I don't know, and I hope that he kind of makes his own way and doesn't just ride off of, his brother's name. So I do hope he gets to play and prove himself. We know Cignetti knows how to recruit clearly, so I'm sure he saw something in him to have him on the team and not just him being a brother, unless that was
I
a
was gonna
package
say
deal.
it could have been a package deal, but
But it could have
well,
been,
maybe I'll
yeah.
follow
So,
Georgia Tech and see how he's doing.
yeah. Hats off to Cignetti. Such a losing program, turn it around, national champions. And, he's one of only few college coaches that doesn't have a GM. He's like, "I'm the head coach and the GM," and he does it
I was
well.
talking to my brother and Adam about this, and I mean, logistically, your college football, do you need a GM and a head coach? Is it like that deep? I don't know. I guess it is kind of turning into a business, but it's,
It is. I think it's mainly to do with
yeah,
NIL and managing kind of that aspect of it, not as much what you think of being a GM and making big decisions and all that. I don't think that supersedes the head coach. I think it's more dealing with NIL, because they also have people that are like player personnel, and they deal with the
yeah,
recruits and the recruits' families and everything like that. And I think that kind of gets lumped under the GM title too. I don't think that they're again making the biggest decisions. I don't know for sure, but I think that's my understanding of it. That it kind of is a fairly new thing, and becoming more. Uh, Prominent because of NIL.
yeah. I mean, that's probably fair. But as Cignetti did it, I don't. Do you need both at the end of the day? But I think
No.
2 years being in Indiana totally turned the team around from a laughing stock. If you've ever watched the Hoosiers basketball movie, I think they need to write one about football now because
Yeah.
definitely would be
Someone's gonna have to do a
it
story on it for sure, or a
has to
movie
be
line.
has to be. So I'll
Yeah.
get excited for that.
Florida's gonna host 3 national championships in 5 years. So next year it's heading to Vegas, which is kind of cool, fun place for a national championship. First time it's been there. and then new it'll be in New Orleans, and then it will go to Tampa, and then back to Miami. Kind of interesting.
Good old Florida.
Sunshine State.
Humid as fuck.
Yes.
I don't love Florida, again, I have never been to
You
Palm
really
Beach. You need to
don't.
show me all the good spots because Miami
Yes, we
is,
need to turn
yeah,
that
I know.
around. It's not but it's just like California. There's places in California that aren't great. There's most I'm gonna go with 90% of Florida is not
That's
great.
fair.
So, you just have to find the good
Yeah, that's
spots,
fair.
but, so there's a new celebrity-backed racket sport called TYPTI. Make it stop. Like, how many renditions of a sport or sports are we going to have? Can we not just settle right now with pickleball and padel and let them have their run?
Is it easier? What I don't understand what the point of coming up with another racquetball sport is.
I don't either, unless it's just, again, a business venture for these guys. So it's backed by Drew Brees. He's a big investor in it and helps make the rules. And then there's 79 other investors, celebrities, athletes and it's, I guess, led by Steve Bellamy, who founded the Tennis Channel. And it's a mix between tennis and pickleball. The racket's strung like a tennis racket, and it's shaped kind of more like a racquetball racket.
Okay.
Played on a pickleball court. Yeah, weird deal. Played on a pickleball court, and then it's a foam ball that is heavier than a pickleball, lighter than a tennis ball. I don't know why we need to be creating new sports all the time, but if it gives people something to do and new hobbies, great.
I just think it's
I'm gonna have to look into more.
oversaturated. All these racquetball, pickleball, tipsy. Like, I don't
Totally. Yeah.
understand how people have time to watch all of these new sports and to learn how to play them.
And the
Yeah.
rules, exactly, yes, and I guess it helps that they're not reinventing the court. People can use pickleball courts to play it. I guess that's a positive, since it's played on a pickleball court, but I'm gonna have to look more into it, and I wonder what TIPTI stands for.
I have
Uh,
so many questions.
yes, we're gonna have to do a little bit of dive, but Pickleball just launched their first YouTube reality show. I wonder what that
Ooh,
viewership's
the
gonna be like.
drama.
Pick Pickleball Kingdom. Allegedly, it's the survivor of
You're
pickleball.
lying.
They compete for professional pickleball contracts and a stake in the ownership of Pickleball Kingdom. Fans vote to see who makes their progress, hosted by an ex-Bachelor
You are
star. Can't make it up, but
Oh my god. Is there any reality or is this like a reality TV is there anything similar that like, what is the point of this?
no, it's the absolute
Oh
first.
my
It is
god.
the first pickleball
Do you think
reality
there's gonna be
show,
drama and,
so
like, hookups and all the above? Being a
maybe. Yeah,
co-ed
maybe they all
sport.
live in maybe it'll be like real world
That's
and they
what
all live
I'm
in the same
trying to
house.
think. Oh god, okay, well,
So
can't wait to see how that
something
one goes,
new.
yeah.
PPA Challenger Series is testing narrower court dimensions for pro singles over their next 4 events. I think it's kind of interesting because singles is hard for pickleball. The ball doesn't fly. It's just a lot of court to cover for one-on-one. Obviously, doubles makes total sense. So they're bringing the sidelines in by 3 feet, just to try to make it more exciting for viewers, the points better, for players. That'll be interesting to see if that sticks and it turns into all-around thing. You know, there's, different layers, obviously, of pickleball
Why
professional
don't you just play
tournaments,
tennis
but
if you're as the ball's a little heavier, if, that's an issue? I don't know. Now they're changing rules, like
yeah, now they're
yeah.
backtracking because you can't play on one-on-one. Why don't you go back to
It's
tennis or real
yeah.
sport and figure it out? Speaking of tennis, Osaka
Oh,
at the
boy.
Australian Open, that outfit.
I genuinely have no idea what that was. That was like a wedding walk of shame.
She said it was inspired by a jellyfish. Obviously, Nike by Robert one. I'm not familiar with him. Inspired by a jellyfish, white brimmed hat with a butterfly on it, a veil to the ground. The actual print of the dress and the top was like blue, aqua, green, white, and then the pleated white pants. I mean, you can't even make it up. Her white umbrella.
No, it was it
And
looked like
though there was also a butterfly on top of the white
was
umbrella
there? I didn't even see
because
that.
yes, it had to do with, the Australian Open she won in 2021 when a butterfly landed on her, and there was always all these pictures about it, and she obviously remembered that. So that's where the butterfly came from. And matching aqua shoes. She didn't even carry her bag or her rackets onto the court because she was busy carrying her umbrella
It was also
and, like, making sure this veil was flowing
it
properly.
was also the shortest walk of all time, you know? It's like I expected her to maybe do a lap around the court with something that dramatic, but she literally walked
Well,
out
it's
and
also not a
sat.
runway. Like,
Well,
you're
that's
walking out to play a match. It is not a runway. It's not like football players wear their pregame outfits and carry their Hermes bags
walking in the
around
locker
the
room.
football field walking into no, they carry it to the locker room and they change and they come out to the field like a normal athlete
Yeah.
competitor. Like, this
It's like,
isn't a
"Get your head in
fashion
the
show.
game already," you know? We're not
Yeah, and a lot of the other Nike athletes were a little bit upset because a lot of them said they don't get the same treatment as her, and even Sabalenka before said she wanted a custom kit, and I guess they're pretty strict on who they make custom kits for. I mean, she's number 1 in the world, and obviously Osaka has, her history, and she's made a name for herself, and obviously one of the highest paid women professional athletes, but it is interesting to see that they would go to that far in an extent to do that for her. And then Sabalenka, who's absolutely crushing and relevant. And I actually like her. She's personable. She's smart. She can interview. She's getting all these, major brands and partnerships. She's actually the first brand ambassador to represent Emirates. That was just announced. And then I think as of today, she's the new brand ambassador for Gucci. So
she's actually got some swag. I doubt
relevant,
she would wear
current.
the jellyfish outfit in the first place, but
No, and she's not trying to
no.
do that. She goes out there and gets visit. But saying all that to say, Nike went to that length for Osaka, and then, you know, they haven't done anything personalized or custom this season yet for Sabalenka. But I don't know. I
Can
thought it was a
say
little
yeah, all I can
strange.
say is thank God that she won because that would have been even more embarrassing.
I thought the same thing. You can't dress like that and come
And
out like
lose.
that and then not perform. I mean, I would never show my face again on a tennis court if I
No,
did
I'd
that.
be mortified.
Like, no. Mm-mm-mm. So back to our discrepancies of NIL and amateurs that are playing in college and not being able to take professional money. I saw a comparison of Carson Beck living in his $5 million, house in Miami, playing for Miami, not attending classes, as we said, finished 2 years ago. So that to me makes zero
That's
sense.
what
Why? I get
yeah,
that.
I was so confused about this and continue, but I tried to do some research on it to understand it.
That's why they're trying to, restructure the years and like do away with redshirt. And there was another year of
COVID.
um, COVID eligibility and all these things that have kind of just compiled to make these lengthy timelines for these athletes, which is just crazy to me. Um, anyway, so that's why they're trying to restructure that. But here he is finishing 2 years ago, getting all this NIL money, living in his $5 million mansion, playing for the national championship. And then there's this Colombian student was playing qualifying at the Australian Open while attending classes, and now he's in the second round. And should be able to pocket, in my opinion, his $225,000 earnings. If he
Absolutely.
doesn't take it, it just stays with the tournament. This is where I think it's just totally unfair and wrong. He's enrolled in classes. He is a student athlete. He's a psych undergraduate. I get that it's not a school sanctioned NCAA event. I get all that, but he should be able to take it. So one of the workarounds was potentially that these tournaments can make funds, and the fund would actually give it essentially to the school or whoever to make it like an NIL for uh for Zhang, but they should. I mean, there has to be a way to figure that out because I just think it's wrong.
No, I completely agree with you. It's a double standard, 100%. And again, circling back to when Carson Beck had made that comment that, oh, I haven't attended school since I graduated Georgia 2 years ago. I was like, how does that even make sense? And then I was trying to look it up. And as a graduate transfer, they were saying he needed to take at least 9 credits or something along those lines, or graduate level credits. Obviously, he graduated undergrad. Wouldn't have been 2 years ago. Then when did he take it? I feel like there's a lot of, uh, you know, unknowns that maybe people should question a little bit more. Again, if Carson Beck was a good guy, I'd be like, ah, give the guy a break. But he's he's turned out to be a real
Right,
asshole,
he
so
deserves it.
he
He deserves
deserves it.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see where his story lands
I'm
too going
very
forward.
curious, edge of my seat. So we'll see.
Edge of my seat. Yes, eyes on him, not in the
No.
best light. The DC area entertainment is having a little bit of a blossom. The renderings came out for the new Commander Stadium. I think it looks so good.
It
I
does
think
look
it's
good.
so well done. I think the architecture actually reminds me of like a monument, where like the DC architectural style just fits in with the history. And they didn't try to overdo it, making it too modernized, but did a good job of blending.
No, I
Um,
definitely, yeah, like giving the government building vibe and everything. I mean, didn't Trump want to name the team or the stadium or something
of course he
after
did.
him? Like,
Yes. No, he wanted the name to go back to the
okay, I think
Redskins,
that's
right?
fair. I kind of like that.
And then he wanted the stadium to be named after him, which of course he does.
What a guy.
What a guy. The architecture firm's actually out of Dallas. It's HKS, and they did AT&T Stadium in Arlington, obviously the Cowboy Stadium, and then they did SoFi.
They're a good
So
company.
even compared to those two stadiums, I just feel like they really did a good job um, hitting the mark of DC. And then National Harbor, M- Maryland, has been announced as the second location for a Vegas type
This
sphere.
is you literally you telling me this was the first time I actually even heard about this, and it sounds just so random. I don't get it. And small.
It is random, small. Yeah, it's definitely more intimate. So it's 6,000 seat capacity compared to Vegas's 18,600, which is wild. But same premise, same technology. It's going to host concerts, residencies, experiences, brand events, year round programming. So good add to the
Have you
area.
been to the Sphere? Like the one in Vegas?
No, I have not. I want to.
Okay.
I want to
I
check
was
it
gonna
out.
say, I feel
I'm
like
just not,
people are just
I
like,
haven't been to Vegas in like 9 million
neither have
years,
I.
literally since I was like 12.
Neither have
Um,
I genuinely have no
just
interest to go, but uh,
Same. It might be a good in and out for something, like that, if it was a good show, but
I don't know.
I
I
don't
would
know.
get
Not the highest on my
seasick
list.
or motion sickness in there.
Seasick.
I don't know. So interesting. Well, maybe
Uh,
we'll make a trip out of it. We gotta check out the
Field
Sphere
trip,
once in a while.
exactly. ESPN announced Nick Saban a six-part documentary on his life legacy, most successful college football coach of all time. I think that'll be good. I like him.
I love him. I think it's going to go into more of the details of maybe his coaching style and his processes and in the locker room to really understand how he was motivating and building these kids up to absolutely dominate. So I think it's going to be super fascinating. I'm excited to watch.
I think so too. I didn't always love him. I always wanted Alabama to lose just because they won
Yeah.
so much under him, but it was nothing
Yeah,
against
yeah.
him. Like, I like him. Like, there are teams I like to lose because I don't like the coach or whatever, but I genuinely, am curious to hear what he has to say, and it's unbelievable coaching career.
Absolutely.
And I like him as a commentator. I think he's so funny. He's, like, a little bit dry, but funny, and he hangs with all those guys so
Yeah.
well.
No, I kind of like
But
everything about him. So I'm excited to watch.
totally. The Southernness. Uh Back to Tom Brady, NoBull, which he backed, just dropped a nutrition line, 4 protein powders and 3 electrolyte drink mixes. Do you drink electrolytes?
I don't. I just drink enough water where I don't need them. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about them because some of them have such a high sodium content. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, but that's another thing, like, salt is such a big thing now that people are into. I have no idea. All I know is when I subbed a couple times for the country club, like, women's tennis team,
Ooh.
which I never would commit to being on the team. These people treat it like it's, like, Wimbledon every single time, and it drives me nuts. But, it was like the whatever, super champ, highest level team. It's kind of fun, but, I played a couple matches, and they are so into these electrolyte mixes. And I was,
Don't
like,
get it.
sitting there like, "Okay, I'm the youngest one here by, like, 20 years old, and I don't drink them." Maybe it's an age thing, or maybe it's something I need to look into,
It's just
but,
like a fad and a
um
trend. And it sounds like Tom Brady's jumping on all these, the Ozempic alike lookalike one we talked about last week. And now this. I don't understand the electrolyte hype. I just drink enough water where I don't necessarily need it, but I don't need my cholesterol
Yeah.
to, shoot up because I'm chugging 3 different element electrolyte drink mixes.
No, I'll just eat my french fries
There
with
we
salt.
go. Yeah, everything in balance. Come on.
They just got a $1 billion valuation, which is wild. such a big brand for being relatively new. And they just signed Livy Dunn as a,
Of
endorser
course they
partner.
did.
Probably a good
Yep.
fit. Of course they did.
She's
Yeah.
young, she's hot, she's athletic, love it.
Yeah, good fit. Really diving into these, nutrition, weight loss.
I was like, "What is he doing?" He cracks me up.
My favorite part of all this weight loss was how many times I saw headlines this week that the airline industry is so excited about all these weight loss drugs and the big push behind it because it's gonna save the airline
Gas.
industry, like, millions and millions of dollars a year because of the
Yeah.
weight on planes. Inching closer. I mean, we have 2 more weekends left of football, which is so sad, but inching closer to March Madness.
Do you make brackets?
Sometimes for fun, but not really, like, I don't do you?
Do. Again, I don't follow college basketball as well as I should, so I try to put the most outlandish brackets together, or bracket together, so if I win, I win a lot, if I don't win, I don't care, so,
So you go with the
yeah,
upsets,
I'm
you don't
like
just go with, like, the number 1
no,
seed all
I'm
the way
like,
through.
"Oh, this person's ranked 13, this one's 1, I'm going with the 13 seed," so
Love it, love it. Underdogs taking you to that top. Well, one of my favorite interviews I saw from this past week was Audie Crooks, our girl.
you sent that to me, she was so well-spoken and cute.
So well spoken, handles her loss well. She was like, "You don't wanna play your best basketball in January, you don't wanna be a monster in January, you want to be a monster in March," and that is exactly right, and that was her outlook and long-term view of the season, which is
Well, she
correct.
hasn't been playing too hot, right? I think that may have been her
Right.
point. I think she needs to, keep the momentum from her preseason ability up, but hopefully she can show up in March.
Yes, really like her a lot. How's your Nebraska ball doing?
They're still undefeated. Nebraska ball. Have you been seeing any of the comments? I was like, oh my God.
No, I've been asking people if they've ever heard it before.
And they're not true Nebraska fans then. They say no, but still undefeated. So that's super exciting. Go Big Red.
Love it. Federer is being everywhere right now. Also, speaking of Federer, I saw his you don't see too much of his, kids, and I saw the cutest picture of his twin daughters sitting courtside at the Australian Open with Lleyton Hewitt's son. So,
Interesting.
taking back the OGs, yeah, and now the kids are sitting courtside together. I thought it was so cute, but they're really attractive girls.
I assume so,
Um,
and I love that he keeps his family
yes,
private as well. I think that's always a classy move.
absolutely. And that he takes them and keeps them involved
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
he obviously is so involved in so many things and has to be on the road, and it seems like they really travel with him as often as they can, which I love.
absolutely. No, definitely a better family
Uh,
dynamic than the Beckhams right now.
Oof, that one's a little bit rough. Steph Curry, who has been bringing out all these different shoes, to his games, was sporting the On Roger Federer well, it's called the Roger Profire,
Fire.
and I have to say they were a pretty cool design. It said "on court" on the back, and it reminded me a little bit of the Virgil Abloh Off-White kind of aesthetic, a little bit lower profile for basketball seeming, but I love that he was wearing them.
I mean, again, I love Steph. He's by far my best or my favorite player. But
Mhm.
Federer, I was gonna say this on deal that he's done has been the best investment he's ever made because I think he's making way more on this than he did in tennis. Is that something along those
I
lines?
mean, he was one of the top earning
I know. Imagine
athletes
that.
ever. I mean, would be given Spanish or sponsorships, yeah, and winnings. But yes, this investment has been unbelievable, and I just love that it's a Swiss
Hmm.
brand. He got in with it from the start, and yeah, the return has been unbelievable. And I haven't worn a pair, but everyone seems to love
I
them.
only wear ons. I probably have
Yeah.
about 7 pairs, just right now that I go through on a daily basis. I am obsessed with them. I think
Do you run in
I run
them?
in them. I do have the running pair. I've got the walking pair. I've got my trail pair. I've got my walking on the treadmill pair. I've got something for everything. So it's,
I'm gonna have to give them a try.
they're aesthetically pleasing. They're not, they're cool. They're like I love them. So,
You can just kinda slip them
mhm,
on.
mhm, your everyday shoe, whatever you want, you can make them.
Love it. I'm gonna try them out. Jeannie Buss. I knew we liked her. That's all I gotta say. I knew we liked her.
She is awesome. I know I've always liked her.
Completely turned on LeBron, so it seems, apparently complaining privately about his ego, the control his agency had over everything, how he lacked accountability for the Westbrook trade years ago. I want to read more about it and see if she comes out to comment more on it. But anyone that's on that train of thought and has had a big stake in the Lakers and is very familiar with the climate and the culture and what goes on there,
I think that's the most
she
telling
knows.
statement. Yeah. I mean, who's more
Exactly. She
involved
knows.
than her? And for her
Right.
to actually say that out loud and not be, on the LeBron bandwagon is gains the respect of me.
The
Yeah.
statement. Love it. So our NFL picks and news is going to be dwindling for a little bit, but NFL wants to move to an 18-game regular season with only 2 preseason games, and then every team plays 1 international per season.
Okay, I've been saying this the
Interesting.
entire time we've been talking about this, but these international games, I genuinely do not like, and I'm sure the players hate it too. Just the time difference, especially
Mhm.
these West Coast teams that would have to fly all the way to Europe to go play these different games. I don't know. It just kind of mess you up, mess your playing up, mess your mind up. That's yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if international fans keep trending up for these games, if they especially if they add more to the schedule to see if,
Well,
how
that's
how well they're
I
attended.
think that's a fair probably, data to track because initially you're like, "Oh, NFL, American football is coming to our country," and you get excited and you wanna see what it's all about, but how does that actually do the fans actually stick around and they actually excited about the game? I don't know. That's something that we should track.
Right, and then, like, the game in Madrid that we talked about where most of the fans were traveling from the
Yeah.
US
It was just
to go to the which
people aren't
which
gonna
is
do that
also
all the
fine,
time.
but it's just yeah, exactly, yeah. So, that'll be interesting to see, but I do agree with the fewer preseason games. I mean, preseason makes 0 sense to me other
Drags
than
on
getting
forever.
everyone together, the coach, you whatever, try your plays, all
Play
of
the
that,
shitty
but, like,
schools.
they don't mean
Yeah.
anything. Right.
Oh,
You
that's college football, sorry.
College, but yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
same thing kind of. You're not playing your best people. I think it's to limit that is probably
yeah.
good.
You gotta come in hot with the actual games.
Then it makes also just the season longer, and we're seeing that injuries and having their bodies last, to the Super Bowl essentially is just it's a lot physically for these guys. Mike McDaniel to the
You
Chargers
love
as
it.
their OC. I think it's a great, great fit, great culture fit. I'm sorry for anyone that didn't think it was a good fit with their teams because I can see how he'd be a little bit difficult, and I think OC is a great, great position for
Yeah,
him. He can
I
just do
agree.
his thing. He doesn't have to have the light, the interviews, kind of the pressure of the front-facing head coach image, and he can just do his job. I love the
No, I
guy,
think
as
Miami
we
to
know.
LA, I think that's a perfect spot for him, so excited to see how that plays out.
Yes, and still so excited for Harbaugh. Seems like everything's going great there. He seems to be loving the team, get everyone pumped in his first interview with the media. He was like, "My dad always taught me that they're the New York football giants."
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. That is what they are. My dad always said the same thing to us. And again, I love that his wife is totally on board with the fit, super excited about it as well. Seems like she's his like ride or die for football, which I just love to see. So I think that's another really, really good fit.
No,
So hope they
I'm
come out
yeah,
strong.
super excited about that. I think the Giants are gonna be a lot better next year, so
Scat
excited.
needs to keep it together.
Yeah, you're gay.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least he's been a little quieter after his wrestling fight or whatever he
Yeah, I
was
was
at. We
trying to
haven't
make a
seen much
scene. Yeah.
about him.
On and off the
Exactly.
field.
Broncos versus Bills.
Mm,
Josh Allen.
yeah, there was a lot going on in that game.
Lot going on. Was a good game for Denver. Game was for the Bills, I have to say, but, what are you gonna do? At the end of the day, it was the Broncos, good for them. I love that Pagula signed the camera after her Australian Open win defending the Bills and wrote, "That was a catch" on the camera. You know
Yeah,
how they
yeah,
sign
yeah.
the lens? I thought it was pretty
No, I
funny.
thought that was such a controversial call. I mean, what was your take on it?
Thought it was a catch. I did, but then, of course, you hear everything and you watch it a million times over and you're like,
There's,
maybe
yeah,
not."
different points of view, but
Yeah, and there's people that know a lot more about football than me that have their eyes
yeah,
on it, and they're calling it not, so at some point, you
they
gotta go
shouldn't
with
have made it so
what they see.
close. End of the game, end of story.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a good game. I think we called that one, or I called it. I said Broncos.
Yes,
You
you
know,
did.
I
You
hope
absolutely
everybody bet
did.
on that. So listen to me.
Yes, and, Peyton Manning and his son were on the sidelines before the game, and I saw Josh Allen run over to say hi and introduce himself. I'm sure he's met Peyton, but maybe not the son, and, I thought that was so nice, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want a picture?" And uh, Peyton was like, "No, no, go do your thing." And then clearly there was somebody that was next to them that was not in the frame, and he's like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" Like, hoping that he had, like, took a picture of them while they were talking, so I just think that's nice when players have respect, like Josh Allen, to go over and do that, unlike Carson Beck, who can't shake hands post-game, so
Well, again,
like to see
that's what
that.
makes you good, not just great. So, or great, not
Exactly.
just good.
Yes, separates you from the rest. And poor Bo Nix leads the team so far, so successfully, and breaks his ankle,
That is
which I can't quite
horrific.
figure out. Horrific. I mean, I couldn't think of anything worse. The timing, it's one thing at the beginning of the season and you're like, "Okay, you're out for the season." But to
Make it
go
all
this
the
far
way.
into the
Yeah.
season, you're now 1 game before being in a Super Bowl, and you break your
I
ankle.
know. I was talking to my brother about this, and did you actually see when he broke it? Because I was trying to figure it out, and I know there's like different at the very end of the game. There's like, oh, he's kind of walking weird here, but I saw a bunch of memes or videos about him, or about jokes about him breaking it, celebrating in the locker room at the end of the game, which would be horrific if that was actually true.
Could you imagine? No, I saw that he was walking off at the end, and they kinda, like,
Yeah.
pointed it out. But even that, I mean, that must have been painful, and he just was, like, walking out again, walking a little bit weird, but they were like, "Oh, his ankle's broken," whatever, but yeah, terrible. I love that Nick Foles came out, and he had a great little quote about, how he felt for the Broncos and how they've had such a run and doing so well, and that backup quarterbacks can step in and win Super
Uh,
Bowls like he did. I thought it was a great on point comment without being too much about himself. Wasn't making it too much about him and what he did. It was more just saying it can be done
yeah. No,
because he had an amazing story himself.
absolutely.
So Jarrett was drafted by the Patriots in 2019 and will now be facing the Patriots for a chance to play in the Super
I
Bowl.
mean, this is crazy. This guy literally went from bench warmer, former Patriot, to suddenly starting against his old team on the biggest stage possible. That's a hell of a story. I hope it works out for him.
Incredible. Same. I really hope he comes out and plays well because I do not think that he's been sitting around all season thinking,
Shit.
I'm going to be playing for a Super Bowl.
It's my time to shine.
Yeah. It is my time, and there are going to be all kinds of eyes.
All
The
kinds.
franchise needs
Yep.
it. It's going to be a good game. I wonder what kind of practice he's putting in leading up to this weekend. He's like, let me be out there
Yeah,
day and
he's a
night.
nervous wreck probably right now, but I hope he's getting it all out in the field right now.
And now I do want them to
I
win. I'm not a huge
know.
Patriots fan. So I really do I would like to see Broncos win it or win this game at least.
Yeah.
And then Bears Rams. I kind of wanted the Rams and I kind of wanted the Bears. I like Stafford, not so much his wife at all, but he seems like such a good guy. I love that his kids are always so cute and matching and
The
cheering
four
him
little
on
girls.
and just seems like they're adorable.
Why don't you like his wife?
Just some of the things she comes out and says, and I feel like she kind of gets involved in his football stuff too
Okay.
much when it's not her to say or her time to say, and just I think kind of uses her platform which her platform is him, to say things that I just again, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't need to be out there, and she had her podcast. She's like, "Oh, I'm taking a break from my podcast." Like, "Okay, great." Like, that's
Did she
fine,
say?
but
I
no
didn't know
one's I
anything
mean
about her. When you were talking about it, I was like, "Oh, let me look at her." And then
yeah,
her
and just
presence
little and I
bothered
do
me.
know that she went through a lot with her health issues and all of that, so and I know that I couldn't even imagine what that's like, so, I'm sure she's a strong, great person to some degree, just given the fact that he seems like such a good guy, and but personally, I mean, I have friends that went to Georgia with them and, remained friends with her and travel with her and whatever, and they just say she's great, but from my perspective and what I see and the image she gives off, I just feel like it's doesn't really align with him.
Yeah, no, we're more the pessimistic, harsh viewer critic crowd.
Right, because everyone wants our opinion
Exactly.
because 'cause we're correct.
We are correct.
What
And
we yes.
everything always turns
If
out true
anyone
2
wants to
weeks
know, we
later.
will tell
Yeah.
you.
We're like, "Hey, right? We said that."
Yeah, exactly. Seahawks versus 49ers.
Was that even a game? That
What
was
was that?
horri I mean, go Sam, hell
I
yeah,
honestly
but
didn't wa
horrific.
I didn't really watch much of it at all, and then I literally checked the score, and it
Mm.
was like, "Final." I'm like, "This cannot even be real."
There's no way they're this close to the final, Super Bowl, and it was that not even a game. It was pretty uneventful. But again, Sam, you
Complete
absolutely nailed it with
blowout.
your oblique injury and all, so it's definitely
Exactly, and I'm not taking away for them. I mean, clearly they did their job, but I mean, I just can't for as much as I like to see different teams
you wanna
competing
see a
and,
game,
but you
though.
just wanna see
Yeah,
a game. Yeah,
exactly,
you wanna see a game.
exactly.
Like, you would think that you're right. This far into it, it shouldn't be that as
No,
a
the whole
result,
time they're
but
basically just running the clock out, so it wasn't even an
mhm,
exciting game to watch, so you didn't miss much.
yes. All right, looking forward to Sunday, Patriots versus Broncos.
We're gonna go Broncos, like we mentioned.
Broncos. Already said it. Really hoping for that. Can't wait to see how he plays. Rams versus
You
Seahawks.
know where I stand, the Seahawks. However, I think this should actually be the real Super Bowl. But obviously they play in the same league, so that's a bummer. But again,
Right.
well, I would love to see the Seahawks versus the Broncos.
That would be a really
Almost said it again.
good matchup, but it'll be a it'll be a good game. It's so sad when it's coming to an end. 2 more
I know. What
weekends,
are we gonna
but
talk
it'll be
about?
good games.
Pit pit
But we're gonna come up
Pitpy?
with
Pitpy?
stuff.
What's the rack that we mentioned earlier? Tipsy,
TYPTI!
sorry.
Mm, yeah, we'll talk TYPTI, we'll talk Alix Earle.
Yeah,
No, I'm
Jordan
kidding.
Woods, yeah, the whole 9.
No, we'll have some golf
Yeah.
coming up. We'll have basketball. We'll have the usual stuff, just minus football. We'll have the draft sooner than
That'll be fun.
later. Stuff to look forward to. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for being here with us. Brogan, keep training for your marathon. It's going to be a little chilly out there for your runs this
Yeah,
weekend.
it's supposed I'm definitely running indoors this weekend, but yeah, even 7 a.m. in February, I'm wondering how cold it's gonna be. We'll see how this half marathon goes, 13.1 miles. Looking forward to it.
Love it. Proud of you. All right, everyone. We will be back next week with our Super Bowl contenders.
Oh yeah, ta-ta for now.
Bye.